The Enderman Slayer update just came out, and of course, since the boss has 300 million HP, my first thought was, how can I beat this in lapis armor? The simple answer is by standing next to a wall, but I didn't record this fast enough, so you can't do that anymore. And so before attempting to one-shot a tier 4 Enderman Slayer using lapis armor, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to fight the lower tier bosses with some pretty garbage armor, but still, usable. Also, just real quick, I am unbelievably close to 30,000 subscribers, so if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure to do so. Just as a little incentive, once I get YouTube rank, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour fishing stream, so if you want to see that, make sure to hit the button. Of course, the first tier of the boss is so easy that you actually can kill it in lapis armor, as I am going to do right here. And there you go. Using lapis. The second and third tier bosses are what's really giving people a lot of trouble, so for those I am going to use Werewolf and Superior respectively, sets that are definitely not very expensive for fighting bosses this strong. So for the tier 2 boss I'm going to be using Werewolf, and for all of them except for the tier 4 I'm going to try to not use Remnants of the Eye because that kind of feels like cheating if you have to spend a ton of coins on defeating one over and over and over again. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to tank it with this, and also for the tier 2 I'm not going to use the Hyperion or I guess Valkyrie ability to get absorption hearts. Okay, I have no idea how this is going to go since I have not tried it yet, but I will place down my plasma flux and see how this works out. Okay, so I got to hit him down with the bow and then actually deal damage with an emerald blade. Okay, he's picked up a beacon, so now I got to go and break that. The hardest part about this is that the emerald blade does not give any regeneration, so I gotta be very careful to not die. I mean, good thinking, Catlord, you gotta be careful to not die in a fight. Very good commentary. But well, there you go, beat that in werewolf armor. And next up is a tier 3 boss wearing Superior. Okay, I obviously cannot speak while I'm fighting, so I'm gonna go ahead and explain the strategy that I'm using to beat the tier 3 before I spawn it. The main way of healing during this is by using the Valkyrie ability, because when I press right click, as you can see, my health increases by a bunch. It goes up to 4,000 instead of 2,700, and then after a while it'll disappear. However, every time I right click within a certain cooldown, it'll give me that amount of health. So every time possible, I'm going to use the Valkyrie ability to get that extra absorption, and the goal is to just pretty much permanently have it. But in the times in between, because there is a small gap with the cooldown, I'm going to have this plasma flux down, which will hopefully keep me alive when I don't have the absorption up. For actually fighting it, every time it goes into the hit phase, I'm using a Grand Venom's Touch to just spam it down, because each one of the arrow hits counts as a hit. Then I'm going to use the Emerald Blade to actually deal damage. It's a one-for-all fabled Emerald Blade, but it's not really that effective because I have 110 million coins, but it should work. And then of course, whenever the Enderman throws a beacon, you gotta teleport to it, and if he ever does the little head things that float, you gotta look at him real quick so that they don't stab you with their eyes. With that, I'll go ahead and play the boss fight, and it really does feel like a boss fight, so enjoy. And there you go. Such an easy boss fight, honestly. Totally didn't die 3 times before that, and I am finally glad that that's over so I can get to what you all really came here for. Killing a tier 4 Enderman Slayer in Lapis armor. I'm actually not sure if I can do it, but if there is a way to do it, then that is a Soul Eater Deathmite. This is actually gonna take forever, oh my god. Okay, I now have the edible mace that has a Deathmite soul in it. I have 215 out of 218 kills. I got the Lapis drip on. So, as far as I know, if I throw these pearls and then kill the Enderman from them, after I break down the hit shield, I should be able to one-shot him with the edible mace. So, I guess that I should just go ahead and do that. Also, I have remnants of the eyes because I am definitely going to die a few times. And there it is. Okay, so I gotta take down the hit shield. And now I should be able to... It's not... Okay. Do that. And it did not deal the damage. Well, this is a bit awkward, isn't it? What's up? How am I kind of tanking you in Lapis? There we go. To be honest, I have absolutely no clue what I did wrong there, because I thought I did everything right, but apparently I did not. That was the second time that I've done it, and it takes like 25 minutes to get a Deathmite. Both times it did not work, and I have no idea why. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that, because I don't want to keep on doing this without knowing really how Soul Eater works. And just something to note, if you go to the auction house and search up Soul Eater, I think that they changed the text to make it say 2 times the damage instead of 2 times the strength. That could just be me being paranoid, but I mean, like, I don't want to waste time on this. By any means, you can definitely one-shot it if Soul Eater still works, using somewhat decent armor, and if you have the money to buy a Soul Eater edible mace, then you definitely have the money to buy a good enough set to one-shot it. So, I mean, like, this doesn't really need to be known whether or not you can one-shot it with Lapis, but I kind of wanted to know. Unfortunately, I won't be able to. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. It was a bit short of a video, but I figured that I should make something on the end update, and since everyone had already made a video on like how to kill the Enderman bosses, I thought I'd put a little spin on it and try to do it in some arguably very bad gear. Though, let's just ignore that I was pretty much carried by a baby yeti the entire time. Anyway, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Bye!